Hello, I'm Danny. Um, Today I wanted to talk to you about one of the things that my therapist gave me on dealing with anger. And I know sometimes when I get upset, I can't really focus on anything else. It doesn't seem like I can get my brain under control so much. And she told me that doing bilateral movement helps to for both sides of the brain to communicate back and forth. So bilateral movement, excuse me, sorry, I'm dealing with allergy stuff. So bilateral movement is this. It's moving left side, right side, left side, right side. Now that's why they recommend walking because you're moving your legs left side, right side, whatever. But she said also, patting. You can pat on your legs. I also lay there and I'll move my feet in bilateral motion. She did say don't try patting up here because that may end up setting you off and be a trigger, make you a little more hypersensitive or something like that. But yeah, that bilateral movement, one after the other, causes you know uh, one lobe to start communicating with the other lobe, and when you're angry, it's not really communicating in a sense. So just simply, if you have the time, go on a walk. If you're at work and sitting at your desk, try patting on your legs, maybe snapping your fingers one to after the other, but make sure you get that bilateral movement in so that your brain does start communicating back and forth. Another thing excuse me, is in that breathing, you need to remember that you're breathing. I know something that I do when I'm angry is I don't breathe. And I actually didn't realize that I was doing this for a really, really long time. Like, I stopped breathing, and my stomach, like all my muscles get really tense. And I kind of, I don't know, I tense up everywhere. And so that breathing, the conscious breathing, like big deep breaths, is getting that oxygen flow back into your body. So you breathe and do your bilateral movements, and you're getting the oxygen flow back to your brain, and your brain is trying to communicate back and forth to one another. So this is something that's really helping me. It also helps me not just when I'm angry, but when I'm really struggling with panic attacks. Um, because before you go into a panic attack, if you start becoming more aware of your body, you can tell when it's coming on. I get really tense. I get almost jittery and fidgety. My body temperature goes up, and again, I don't breathe as much, and my heart rate goes up. And so I watch for these signs before, and then I will go into a dark room and where it's quiet, and I'll lay there for just a few minutes and do. I start with the breathing, and then I get the bilateral movement going in, and I sit there. Sometimes it takes me only a couple minutes, but sometimes it takes a good 30 minutes for me to get out of the mode of where my body is trying to go into a panic attack. Um, but yeah, I want to give that tool to you because it's been very helpful to me, and I like how, it's not just about, you know, what's going on mentally and trying to do something mentally. It's taking the physical aspect of yourself and like fixing your brain essentially. And in that, it's also, helping to rewire, so you have less panic attacks, so you are less angry. Um, and it works for me. Let me know in the comments below if it works for you. Just again, it's bilateral movement and making sure you're taking the deep breaths. Um, I'm not really particular on how you're taking the deep breaths. Like some people, like in your nose, in through your nose, out through your mouth, things like that. Like I can't do that when I have allergy stuff going on. My nose is just stuffed up. And if I'm worried about trying to figure out how to breathe correctly, it kind of does not help. So as long as you're taking those big deep breaths and you're getting them in your body, you're getting that oxygen in your body and you're doing the movement, um, it's being beneficial. And again, don't do something that's gonna, trigger you or set you off more. So it's kind of a, experimenting, figuring out what works for you. I mean, if you think patting the shoulders is going to work for you and you try that and it doesn't trigger you, then feel free to do it like that. If you find another way that's bilateral movement, go ahead and add it in the comments below. And other people who watch the video will also get to see it. And maybe it'll help them too. Something, that's just we didn't think of before. But yeah, go ahead and add your comments below. I want to thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. If you want to see more ways that I'm working on myself, more tools that you can get to help you, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Thanks. We'll see you next time.